If you're a Capital One or Discover customer, you need to watch this because Capital One is shutting down credit cards and these are turning to lawsuits and customers are furious.
So I don't know who needs to hear this, but just look away from Capital One, man. Just take that advice. Don't ask no questions. They just shut down 2 of my cards recently. Been using the cards wisely. Use them, pay it off. Use it, pay it off. Been using the cards. Been responsible, right? Been a responsible customer or client, whatever you want to call it. They shut down my cards and it's happening all across. Like I know other people talking about this. Like everyone's talking about this right now. They're shutting them down for whatever reason. You're better off just going to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank, directly to Amex. Just go with these national banks that are actually going to take care of you and it's going to help you out in the long run. Capital One is going to give you low limits or garbage limits. Garbage cards with little to no benefits. And they might shut you down. Just go elsewhere. You'll be better off in the long run.
Now, if you're not aware, Capital One just recently bought out and merged with Discover. So this is not only just happening with Capital One customers, but Discover customers are getting hit too. Now, drop in the comment section if you recently had your credit card shut down or if you had problems in the past with Capital One, because in this video, I'm going to break down there are certain activities that you need not to do. If you have a Capital One or Discover card, you need to watch out for because on this channel, I talk about credit. So if you like that kind of information, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you can download this free hard inquiry removal package for free. That link is in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. But there's 4 main reasons why Capital One are shutting down credit cards. And here's number 1. First reason is being flagged for suspicious or fraudulent activity.
Okay, Capital One, let's see.
I mean, it's the same letter for both cards. We just got 2 letters.
Dear real name, we are closing this Quicksilver One card because Capital One has observed activity on one of your Capital One accounts that is inconsistent with typical customer account usage. Come on. So maybe they're viewing it as, when we first opened our original office, I spent a lot on Amazon, to get a lot of stuff around the office and they viewed it as unusual and they closed it.
Listen to me because this is a cautionary tale. Okay. I had a car. We were trying to build up my credit so that we could buy a house. I go one day to use it in the grocery store and it's declined. It wasn't a big deal really because I had the money. I always had the money in the bank and I would move the money that I used on the card into a savings account. And then after it was canceled, I just paid for my groceries with my debit card. I get to the car. I call the number on the back of the card because what else are you supposed to do? And they said, oh, we canceled it because of fraudulent charges. I didn't make a fraudulent charge claim. And they said, no, we noticed the fraudulent charges, so we canceled it. First of all, I didn't know they could do that, but they did. And I said, well, I would like for you to reopen it because there are no fraudulent charges on this card. And I'm trying to build up my credit and a canceled card looks bad on a credit report. And she said, well, I can't reinstate that card, but we can give you a new card with a credit limit of $1,500. My original card was $500. I told that woman what she could do with that offer. It was colorful language. Fast forward to 10 years later and I'm being sued by Capital One. For what? Late fees and incurred interest on a card that you canceled. I couldn't see anything online, but I was told that I owed nothing because they sued me. $5,000. They were suing me for $5,000 in late fees and interest. I went to the courthouse. I told the judge, I said, Judge, they canceled the card. They told me I had a zero balance on the $500 credit card. And the man goes, it was not a $500 credit card. It was a $1,500 credit card. I said, no, it wasn't. The lady offered me a $1,500 credit limit on a new card, but the one that they canceled was a $500 credit limit. And the man said, all I have here shows a $1,500 credit limit. Also, they'll cancel it so that they can force you. You'll get a higher credit card limit, but you also get a higher interest rate. Just FYI. The judge was like, listen, I'm going to let y'all go out in the vestibule and talk about this because y'all should be able to resolve this. Now, I went out to the vestibule and I talked to this man and he said, well, you either pay it or you spend time in jail. I said, put me in jail. He looked at me like I'd lost my damn mind. Did I pay anything on it? No. It's been another 5 years and guess who just got served? They're now using a law firm called Nathan and Nathan. And guess what, Nathan and Nathan? You better send me my court date. You better send me my court date because now they say I owe $8,000.
Now, as the first gentleman said, with his card, he was spending it at Amazon and he was using it to buy often with large amounts. And because of that, they actually flagged him for suspicious and fraudulent activity. They could believe that you're trying to rack up points and do some kind of manufactured spending. So that can cause that flag. And in this lady case, a lot of times when people's cards are shut down, they get upset because their card was shut down and it can be at an inopportune time and they don't pay the balance. And that leads to a lawsuit. But it can be down the road because many a times when Capital One charge off that account, they'll sell it to a third party collector. And sometimes they'll even sell it to actual attorneys that buy that debt, and they'll pursue you maybe 2 or 3 years down the road for that leftover debt, and the interest charges add up. Now, she said in her situation, they originally gave her a $500 credit card, and then they changed it to a $1,500 credit card. And when she didn't pay it, they ran up the charges to that amount and changed the information. So you want to make sure if you get a new card, try to keep some of your paperwork so you have proof, or even with your old bills, if you have this and you get a lawsuit, or if you're being threatened by a lawsuit, make sure with Capital One, you demand all your payment history before that lawsuit progressed. Demand that they give you the whole account history so you can get the details from when that account start to it finish. But make sure you watch how you're spending, because with manufactured spending, they might believe that you're trying to rack up points to game the system. You got to watch out for if you just got that card and you have an introductory bonus where you can get additional benefits or points. You want to watch what you're buying and abide to the rules of the credit cards. So read the terms and conditions, because that can get your card shut down. Second reason is credit cycling.
If you're getting your credit cards shut down because of credit cycling, that means you're doing it wrong. Credit cycling is if you max out the credit card and pay it off multiple times a month. They don't want to see that because you're playing the system, you're taking advantage of all the points and benefits they're offering, and you're not giving anything back to them. Now, this is the thing. If you're creating a pattern and you're always buying gift cards, making them into money orders, you then have to pay the credit cards off. Well, on your credit card statement, it will show a very obvious pattern. Gift card, gift card, gift card, gift card, gift card for the entire month, maxing out the card, paying it off, maxing it out, paying it off multiple times in a month. That's what's going to get you red flag and shut down.
Now, credit cycling, just like this gentleman was breaking down, a lot of people use it as a hack to run up points, to maximize it, and to force the credit card company to try to give you a larger limit, but you have to watch that. The reason why, because if they give you a $5,000 card and you max it out, and even if you pay it immediately, you already used up $5,000, and then you max it out again, essence of the whole situation, you're really using $10,000 of a card limit. And they have these points and your predetermined card limit of credit that you can use every month. So if you max it out and pay it, that $5,000, that's that $5,000 for the month that they have you down for. But if you do it again, even if you pay it, you're really using $10,000 of lines of credit that they did not issue you. And they have these points and rewards all with their profit in mind. And so they might not want you to get that much of the points and the benefits tied into the use of that card. So they can flag you if you keep maxing out that card. The key is maxing the card out, paying it off. So please watch out for that. Number 3, automatic payment withdrawal issues.
Tell you the story about how opening a Capital One card caused my credit to go from 817 to 654. So I don't know if you guys know, but Capital One recently bought Discover. And I was devastated when that happened, because Discover, the best credit card, the best customer service, the best perks, no international transaction fees, the best credit card that you used to be able to get. When I had my regular Discover card, I had it set on auto pay, just in case life started lifing and I forgot. Let me show you something right now. This is my actual card. Member since 2013. The 13 years that I've had this card, I have never now one time made a late payment. Why? Because I've had it on auto pay. Cut to Capital One buying Discover. As soon as that happens, right? They're just like, don't worry about it. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. We'll take care of everything for you. All your settings, we'll transfer. We got you, sister. And imagine my surprise when I learned score had gone from 817 to 654 because Discover by Capital One decided to report me to the credit bureau for missing 2 payments when they told me that my auto pay would transfer.
Now, in this lady's situation, she said she checked and called in with Discover to make sure with the merger with Capital One that her payments would come out the same. She said that they said, okay, but that payment didn't come out properly with that changeover. And this can happen to a lot of people, that even when I deal with them trying to fix their credit, this issue comes out a lot, that the payment didn't get withdrawn. It was some kind of error. So you want to make sure, if you're a Discover customer, make sure you're tracking that your withdrawals are coming out properly every month. Now, she can dispute that late payment. And if that happened, you can dispute it too. With my elite credit system, users like Sean was able to go from a 612 credit score all the way up to a 770 credit score in a matter of 6 months. And now he's at an 803 credit score. So if you need my help with my AI software and credit coaching, or if you need a one-on-one consultation, those links are in the description of the video and in the pinned comment section. So you can dispute that late payment. Also, check your records to make sure that they didn't receive that payment, and call into customer service and make sure you just don't talk to the customer service rep. Also demand to speak to a supervisor, especially if you have a good payment history and you had a great relationship with these credit card companies like Discover and even Capital One. So make sure that you watch out for that. Now, the fourth and final reason is because you already have an established payment plan.
I don't know how angry I am. So I have a $300 credit card that was past due. I finally, like a week or so ago, took $100. I said, I'll put it towards this because then I'll have an available balance. I can still use that $100 if I need it. So I was like, kids need a few groceries, try to use it. It's not working. So I log in to see if my card is locked, because I keep any cards I got locked. It says this account is restricted. So I'm just like, okay, let me call, see what's going on. Apparently, they said I was in some payment program and left the program, so my account is restricted, so it can't be unrestricted. So you mean to tell me I made a payment to a card, was not informed about some program or any of that, so I'm basically paying on a card that I can't spend.
Now, unfortunately, when you establish those payment plans with Capital One, you have to abide by that payment plan and the time of the payment that you establish. They do not allow you to move around with those payments. So you want to watch out for that. Unfortunately, especially if you have a couple of payments you want to go ahead and pay in advance and you have the money now and I want to pay it now. They don't a lot of times allow that. You have to stick with that payment schedule. And that can throw a lot of people off because you just want to be done with it. But just keep in mind of that. And they may restrict that spending on that account and you can't figure out why I paid it down. Why can't you guys just now let me use my card? Because of the agreement that you established. So hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section. More detailed questions for me, you can go to my website and all your questions go directly to my cell phone. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned.